Hello. It's rainy and windy here. Blue is cozy there on the bed. Been watching Joyce Meyer. Getting stuff done. I'm going to read this one. And behold, some are last who will be first, and some are first who will be last. Luke 13:30. The new minister of a church insisted on leaving written instructions and notes for his staff. A janitor who could not read or write was soon found out when he failed to respond to the written messages. He lost his job as a result. This man, however, was no ordinary person. He was brilliant, although unlettered. He began his own business and became very wealthy. One day, his banker was astounded when he discovered his customers' illiteracy and exclaimed, "Good heavens, man, just imagine where you would be if you could read and write." His reply was, "Yep, I'd be a janitor in an Episcopal church." The saying, "When you get lemons, make lemonade," illustrates the fact that something bad often leads to a greater blessing. That's what I always say. We don't fail or come in last. If we don't fail or come in last sometimes, we would never move on to something better. Whatever happens in our life, nothing is outside of God's grace. Recovering folk often feel like leftovers, yet God in His grace takes the cast-offs and the castaways and creates new and wonderful miracles of success if we let Him. Carl Sagan has often said that nothing in creation is ever wasted. In fact, he states that the very stuff of the original universe from billions of years ago exists in the cells and elements that make up our present bodies. We are all billions of years old. God continues to use, rearrange, and reuse what was into what is, and what is into what will be. When we offer ourselves to God in the third step, we are making His recycling work that much easier. O Christ, friend of the last and least, I give my leftover self and all of its cast-off pieces to you to rebuild and renew. Amen. And so I was watching Joyce Meyer this morning, and it was really good. I'll probably link to that program in the on my community tab, and it was on I think Healing the Soul of a Woman, which was the last book of hers I had read probably in 2019 or 2018 or something like that. I haven't read any of her new books. She has some good new books out. You okay, Blue? But at the end of this program, they were in Los Angeles, seeing how, like, they have dream centers, like, all over. I'm not sure how many cities, but there's one in Los Angeles. There's one here in the St. Louis area that I have toured, because when I went to a Joyce Meyer conference in St. Louis, that's the times I've been to St. Louis before. Well, one was on a cross-country trip with my family. But the other times I'd been to St. Louis, because I've been to St. Louis like I think 3-4 times. The other times were at Joyce Meyer conferences, and you get a tour of the St. Louis, at least you used to, when you came to the Joyce Meyer conference, get a tour of the St. Louis Dream Center. But anyways, they were at the Los Angeles Dream Center and talking about how much more food, how much more stuff they are doing because of COVID. And it was just very interesting. And one story that sort of stood out was the man that was in charge and was telling Ginger Stocky all the stuff they do every day and how much food they put out, you know, with their pantry every day and then serve meals every day. This man had come to Los Angeles and was homeless in Los Angeles, and that's how he became familiar with the Dream Center, and it changed his whole life. And he said, so many, I forget how many years, he said so many years after I was getting a free hot dog off the hot dog truck. I sort of like the little the idea of the little hot dog truck. I think of that movie, While You Were Sleeping in Chicago, the hot dog truck. But he, like, you know, a few years after he started out on the serving hot dogs off the hot dog truck, and now he, like, is the director, I guess, of the whole Los Angeles Dream Center, because it was a place where he came and it helped him, and now that's his job and what he does. And just the amount of food that they serve and give out every day is just amazing. So I don't know if I have time to right now, but maybe when I am in Denver, I will have the time to volunteer at a place like that, because that would be good. I've done lots of volunteer work in the past with different ministries, but never one like that. I worked with I met women in jail. I visited women in jail for a time in 2017 and 2018, I think it was. So I did that. I volunteered at Crisis Pregnancy Center. I volunteered at schools, of course, my kids' schools all the time. I've done lots and lots of volunteer work. I had that all on my, all the stuff I had on my, I'm like, my resume doesn't look that bad at all. I thought it looked really good, but I still didn't have any real, quote unquote, real work on my resume. I was like, hey, look at, you know, I've been busy. I'm a hard worker. I just never got paid. But anyways, that's my Devo for today. It's a just splendidly rainy day. I don't mind rainy days. It's kind of nice. Love y'all. Bye.